27-yard run.
Hey, welcome back, Roadrunners, to the Lip Medallion. Now, some things are clearing up, things are showing up, and it looks like Coach Traylor has interviewed with Texas Tech as of this week. Rumors have it $5 million a year. That's it. There you go. Does he leave for Texas Tech? Are the rumors that he's expecting $5 million, and will Texas Tech meet that? Who knows? I do know these simple facts. Coach Traylor makes less than $1 million a year right now at UTSA. Coach Traylor has a $2 million buyout after this season. I believe it's $2 million after this season, because that'd be about right, because his salary increases year over year, right? So he's probably going to clear $1 million in his final year and be over $950,000 maybe, or maybe at $1 million next year if he stays with UTSA. So his buyout being $2 million is probably very accurate. If you're Tech, do you take him? He's an up-and-coming coach. He understands Texas football. He proved that he can win with UTSA and turn UTSA around like instantly. This team is a different team than we've had, and we've all talked about it. We all see it with our eyes, right? So does Coach Traylor jump for Tech? I figured it'd be SMU, knowing that I was close to Gilmer, where he coached prior, and he's from that area. It'd be easier for his mom, obviously, to make games. She made her first game in Ruston. What's interesting is Tech not wanting Dykes. I mean, he's winning at SMU. Maybe Dykes doesn't want Tech, and he's hardballing them to see how much they really want him, to see if they'd be committed to him. So if Tech doesn't take Traylor, does he leave and pay his own buyout to go to SMU, make more, have better facilities, right? Have a higher stature program. He could be the next version of Peterson up at Boise State if he were to stay here. He could see the growth of our program through winning a lot of football games. I mean, we're already going to next year play Texas, and I believe it's a $2 million payout. So we'll see how that all shakes out. We'll see. All we can do as Roadrunner fans is support our team, support our players. The greatest thing that we can have happen for us right now is what happened to Arkansas State, which is what happened to ultimately Houston, which would happen to other G5s. FAU, right? Your coach comes, your coach wins, and then he gets offered money that he can't pass up, right? But he wins so much for you that donations come in, butts in the seats go up by 10,000 a year, right, per game. And that adds a lot of revenue. You get on TV more, that adds a lot of revenue. So we'll see. We'll see if that works out. We are joining the AAC. We'll have a better TV contract. It's not going to end up being $7 million a year. Not after Cincy and Houston and I forgot who else is leaving, right? I keep wanting to say Memphis, but they're still in the UCF, right? Now that they're leaving. So those are marquee teams that we're not replacing, right? Houston, BCS busted. UCF, BCS busted. So, and then since it looks like Cincinnati's got a good chance of doing it this year. So those are marquee names. Doesn't mean we can't grow to that. All we got to do as Roadrunner fans is show up, support our team, and pack that dome. Defend the mofo dome. Defend the dome, right? We got to go there and make it our house every game. We got to buy all the tickets that opposing fans can't come in and be louder than us. It's already a major home field advantage. We see where it lays out. Hey, comment. Let's talk about this. Tell me what you think, right? You see this, you watch this. Tell me what you think, right? So I'm going to move on to, there's a big game today in Conference USA, FAU versus UTEP. UTEP is on the road at FAU. UTEP is undefeated in conference. They're hoping to be undefeated in conference next week when UTSA travels out to El Paso. Let's Let's see if that happens. That'd be pretty cool. It would be, I wouldn't say the highest ranked teams playing next week, but it's the most marquee if you look at records and who's playing, right? I think Alabama next week is playing Arkansas because Alabama's on a bye week this week, or they're playing LSU. I mean, that's always a big game, and that's on TV, but it's not college game day worthy. So maybe college game day pulls, you know what? We can go to El Paso, right? So they're going to go somewhere else. But if they go there, that'll be a rocking time. Got to figure out which orange and blue team, is who. All right. So I predict, though, UTEP's going to go to FAU. FAU's running away with the East right now, basically. I haven't really looked at the conference records. I know FAU's in first place in the East, and they are the class of that side based on just records. But when you're in conference, it's hard to win football games. I give FAU the edge. All right, so now, that's my prediction. FAU by 2 touchdowns. And then UTEP looks for revenge against UTSA for losing that game. And it's going to be a tough game for UTSA. No game is easy for UTSA. I'm not going to say any game is. But let me tell you something. It's a good football team. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about conference realignment. And here's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Rice joining the AAC. I simply don't get it. No matter what argument you give me, I don't get it. Academics. Oh, they're there for academics. Well, then what is Tulane and Tulsa? They're still there. Yeah, Tulane and Tulsa are very good academic schools. So that's not a legitimate argument as to why you bring Rice in over, I don't know, Marshall. Now, everyone says Houston Market. That's another non-starter because it would have helped Conference USA already. If that's the case, why do we have less than $500,000 per team in Conference USA for media rights? I mean, after all, Rice is in Houston. Rice didn't even come close to owning Houston. Houston is owned by LSU, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Texas. Then Houston. Hear me out. University of Houston's behind all those schools for owning the TV market. And somewhere down here, behind roller derby, figure skating, women's basketball, WNBA, is Rice football. It's just how it is. So they don't, that makes no sense. Recruiting? Don't even start with recruiting. Let me tell you why I don't even start recruiting. Where did Jalen Hurts go? Yeah, that's right. The awesome kid from Houston. Where'd he go? Where did Jalen Waddle go? He's from Houston. Bel Air Episcopal High School. In fact, there were two other kids that I don't believe from that Bel Air Episcopal team that went to other universities besides Rice. Maybe one of them went to Rice, a tight end. There were 3 that actually, I believe, got drafted last year in last year's draft that ultimately played for Episcopal High School. That's a pretty neat little accomplishment for a private university. Private high school. Might as well be a university. I mean, the tuition probably isn't. I mean, it's probably up there. It's probably more than UTSA. So who knows? Well, so why is Rice in it? I have no idea. I know ESPN ran this, but if ESPN thinks that's helping the market, no. Someone said to keep the Mountain West out of Texas. Well, Everyone does realize Mountain West split off of the old WAC when Rice was in the old WAC, right? When they had that first 16-team conference or whatever it was, and then they split. BYU, Boise State, and all them created the Mountain West. They said, forget this, right? There's UTEP. Why isn't the Mountain West come calling for UTEP? That's Texas. And we say, oh, no, but that's over there. That's Mountain Time Zone. Doesn't matter. It's still Texas. It is still in the state of Texas. Might be a different time zone, but it's still the state of Texas. You can't tell me UTEP's not going to play other Texas schools. Who knows? All I know is I don't understand. I don't agree with it, because let's look at the SEC. Just don't worry about whether the SEC is all this and all that, but let's look at the steps they've made, right? The old SEC was a Southern Conference. Schools like Georgia Tech were in it. Tulane was in it. They all left. Sewanee was in it. And Sewanee stayed Division III. It was too small, right? So then you had the SEC after Georgia Tech left and after Tulane left. You basically had the blue bloods of the SEC, right? You had the Mississippi schools. You had LSU, the two Alabama schools, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Georgia, and Florida, right? So when they decided to expand, they wanted another school out of Florida. That school out of Florida turned them down and joined the Big East or the ACC. I think you know where I'm going with this, because those schools were winning a lot of football games back then. Well, they turned them down. So what was the SEC's next choice? They went and got Arkansas. Arkansas played LSU a lot. Arkansas was a winning tradition. Arkansas is a big state school. They got South Carolina. South Carolina played Georgia a lot. Big state school. Butts in the seats, right? So then they expand again in 2012. Who do they go get? Oh, a university that has 70,000 students now called Texas A&M. Missouri, I know Missouri was big. I haven't looked that up, but I know they had a lot of students, and I know they played football and put 80,000 butts in the seats. That matters. And those programs travel well. Not that the LSU needs help for programs to travel, but it sure makes it a lot easier on your program when you know you can sell your allotment of 5,000 or 10,000, whatever it is, right? 5,000. You know it's going to be sold. Even in bad times, it's usually going to be sold, right? And that's just what it is. So I don't agree with Rice going, no matter what argument you have. I don't think it helps the AAC in any way, shape, or form and stature. Other programs. Okay, well, show me what they've done in basketball. Baseball? Okay, okay, maybe that helps. Maybe. But really, what have they done since baseball in the 90s? I mean, they don't bring anything to the table athletically or TV-wise. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Roadrunners, let's enjoy this bye week. Let's root for FAU no matter what, because we want to play UTEP with a loss to where if we lose and then they lose another game and we beat UAB, whatever, and we get a little round robin, that we win the tiebreaker, right? We always want it easy for us. We want to get to that conference championship by winning the Western Division. So we want UTEP to get a loss. Defend the Dome. See you in 3 weeks in the Dome when we play UAB, or is it Southern Miss? I don't know. We have Southern Miss and UAB at home. We travel to UTEP and UNT. So I'll see you for the last 3 games of the year. I can't make it to UTEP. Just unfortunately, things are getting in the way. Birds up, baby.